Hey guys, Mrs. Mason. Welcome back to Kathy's Kitchen. Decided to switch it up today a little bit and do a baked good. We're gonna make a cookie because my baking and pastry classes are on the cook unit. Cookies, first of all, are, I know there's a gazillion different types of cookies out there, but cookies are classified usually into 6 categories. And they're classified based on like the stiffness of the dough and how you handle that dough. There's drop cookies, which, typical that you might know is, chocolate chip cookies. So it's something that you can take from your spoon and just drop it onto the cookie sheet. Oatmeal raisin, another example of that. There's molded cookies. Molded cookies are shaped with your hands. Might be like a peanut butter blossom, or on the holidays, you roll them into a ball and, you crush the Hershey's Kiss in it. Pressed cookies, which are actually, the dough is pressed through a cookie press. Spritz it there, and it makes different shapes. There's rolled cookies, which are rolled out with your rolling pin, and different shapes are cut out from that. There are bar cookies. Bar cookies are, actually spread into usually a pan of some sort, rectangle, round, whatever, what have you. It is refrigerated cookies, and that's what we're going to be making today, refrigerated cookies. And the refrigerated cookies are basically stuff, cookies that you get, let's suppose that you might relate to at the grocery store, the Pillsbury cookies. You can slice and bake those. Well, that's what refrigerated cookies are. They're usually shaped into a log, refrigerated, and a couple hours later you can slice them up. And I like these because you can actually, you could have them in the freezer or your refrigerator, and you don't want to cook them all at once. Slice them up. It's already pre-made. It's just slice them up, and when you just want to have that little sweet craving, and cook up what you want. Sometimes when you make a whole batch of it, you eat way too many. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a refrigerated cookies. It's just a basic sugar cookies, basic ingredients. What I'm going to just finish it off with, once I roll it into a log, I think I'll roll it. I'll do a cup. I'm going to divide the dough up, and I'll probably roll some in sprinkles, because I'm going to drop them off to my grandsons, Tracy and Mason. And then I'm going to probably do one with nuts, because I like pistachios or pecans on that. But you could, do it in cinnamon sugar if you want. When we're measuring our flour, we want to make sure we kind of aerate the flour a little bit first, and then scoop it into our measuring cup, and then level it off with a straight edge spatula. And it's important that you measure it this way, because you'll get more of an accurate measurement versus, say, sticking your measuring cup into the flour and kind of packing it in. It won't give you as accurate of a measurement. After attaching the paddle attachment, you're going to cream together your softened butter. Your softened butter should be out at room temperature for, say, about an hour or 2 hours, and you should be able to press down on it with your fingertip or the back of a spoon. It should be able to hold it the shape of it. Then you're going to cream together, which is taking the sugar, it's popping little small air holes into your fat. Okay, and what this does is it incorporates the air bubbles, and it's going to make your product a little lighter and airier, and give it a better texture. And creaming together, usually you could do that for 2 minutes when you're making cookies. If you're making cakes, it might be longer. Now remember, if you do not have a mixer at home, you can still cream together butter and sugar. Just use the back of a wooden spoon. Just make sure it's at room temperature. You might need to do it a little bit longer.
Next up, I've taken my my bowl scraper. That's what that little gadget I'm holding is. It's a flexible piece of plastic, and it's great for wiping down the sides of the bowls. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some saran wrap and I'm going to divide my dough. I'm going to use a metal, what we call bench scraper, divide the dough into 2 pieces and roll it into log-shaped forms. And I'm going to start by first rolling the first one in sprinkles and then rolling the second one in pistachio nuts. So next up, I am going to take my pistachio nuts and I'm opening the top of the bag and I'm actually just taking my rolling pin and crushing them, the nuts with my rolling pin. I could take it out, cutting board, and chop them up as well with a knife, but I'm just doing this as a quick and easy way. I'm just crushing them. And I'll roll the second log in these nuts as well.
Okay, so I refrigerated my dough for, I don't know, it says 3 hours, but I'm not sure if it's exactly that long. Next, I'm going to slice it up into maybe about 1/4 inch slices. Now, if you have a baking sheet with sides, I know this is really dirty, that's fine. You can use that. I mean, when you're cooking with sheets, they suggest that you use something without sides. So these are sheet pans. Cookie sheets have no sides. So if you wanted to, I mean, it's not the end of the world if you put them on here. It's just that you get a better heat circulation. Think about it. You can always just flip it upside down and cook it on that. So that's what I'm going to do. Put my parchment on here. And I want to slice up my cookies. Remember, like I said, you could, and it's gotten substantially harder. You could I'm going to put them on the baking tray. Then I'm going to set my timer. It says anywhere between 7 and 9 minutes. You want to always set it for the lesser amount. Okay? You can always add on time. But once they're cooked, they're cooked. You can't take away that. So we're going to bring it over here to our oven. And if you notice here, if you're cooking more trays than just one tray, you probably want to, if you have adjustable racks, adjust your racks. So if you want to cook 2 trays at a time, maybe you do it on the first 1/3 of the oven and the last 1/3, and then like halfway in between cooking times, switch it. You really kind of have to go by like what your oven is like. Some ovens, some are hotter on the bottom than on top, etc. I put this on convection bake. I set it for 350 degrees. And since I only have 1 sheet, I'm just going to put it right in the middle. So if you only do have 1 sheet pan, usually you want to put it in the center so it has even circulation. This is kind of it's a bigger baking sheet than or sheet pan than normal. So I'm going to set my timer for 7 minutes, and then we'll check it after 7. Okay, so our timer is going off. The 7 minutes is up. Let's take a look at them. And a lot of people always have the hardest time figuring out when our cookie's done. Because it's not like you have a toothpick test. You don't stick a toothpick in there and like a cake you would. Hold on. Your cookie should be golden brown on the bottom. So if you also take the edge of your spatula, like the sides of it shouldn't be able to indent in. Now you also have to remember that cookies will continue to cook on the cookie sheet. Okay, it's called residual cooking, okay, baking, what have you. Anyway, so they will continue to cook and they do harden up. So the underneath, the bottoms should be lightly brown. Let them sit on the cookie sheet for 1 to 2 minutes, and then we'll put them on the cooling rack. And actually, this is the first time making this recipe, so we'll see how they taste. Actually, my husband just got home, so maybe he could be our taste tester. Okay, so I let them sit here for a minute, and I'm just putting them onto my cooling rack. And once they're completely cooled, I will bag them up. Now I want them to be completely cool because the heat, if I put them in a plastic bag now or a Tupperware container, the heat will cause condensation in the bag or in the container and make my cookies soggy. Okay, so our cookies I put on the cooling rack are probably cool enough to take a bite. They're still warm, but let me see. Hello, we do have any volunteers in there? We got a volunteer. So they're still actually pretty warm. But he's kind of a wimp, so he might like, ooh, it's too hot.
Always happy to volunteer.
Well, bring over here. You gotta.
Oh.
Okay. So these are from Mason. I'm gonna bring them to him.
Oh, very nice.
That's my grandson's name, Mason. Oh, here, wait. This happens when we're short here.
Fantastic. Love the edges too.
Okay, but I have a question for him though. So, what do you call a cookie that likes to draw?
A cookie that likes to draw. I don't know.
A snickerdoodle.
Oh, very good.
That's a type of cookie if you didn't know.
It's almost as good as this cookie though.
Oh, good answer, good answer.
Yeah, you're doing
Okay, just one more question for you.
fine. All right.
What does a gingerbread man put on his bed?
Don't know.
Cookie sheets.
Cookies, very nice. Almost as good as this cookie, but not quite. Is there room for one more?
Oh, yeah, but they're all Masons. I have pistachio ones for us.
Why the kids get all the good stuff?
Which you can.